I do have to change that abrupt ending, but I must like it because I leave it and I don't change that. How you guys doing? So I'm sure most of you have heard of the Disney Nerds, or at least the Disney Nerds podcast. So I thought only one person had created it. I thought it was Jimmy Horny. Although what? It's not Horny. I'm sorry, the E is silent. It's Jimmy Horne. He is here with Ed Mazzilli, great Irish guy. Mazzilli, he's really Italian, which is good for me because I don't know what Jimmy Horne is. Maybe he's French. Then it's Hornet. In any event, hello, Mary. Mary, you never heard of the Disney Nerds? Mary Wells never heard of you. So let's bring them out. We'll bring out Jimmy and Ed. Hello there, guys.
Hey,
What's
John.
up?
How's it
How are
going?
you, buddy?
Good. It's going pretty good, I think. Let's see who's in the chat room that I can say hello to real quick. I got Gene Palmer, who went to the Magic Kingdom today. Don Nicholson, Brandon, Robe, Christine Fox. Oh, Christine Fox. Do you know her, Jimmy?
Christine, I've met Christine a couple times. She came to one of our meets, as did you at Tambu. That's when Lisa was double fisted.
Oh, that's right.
Papoose. Yep, and I ran into you and Christine and in Tony's once. Me and my wife were there.
I have a funny story about Christine Fox.
Oh my God.
Christine Fox is videotaping her family on Slinky Dog. Ed, it had just opened. She's on Slinky Dog, and it takes off on the first launch, and Christine Fox goes, "What? It's a roller coaster? This is a roller coaster?" Stop everything you know. How could it be? Ed, did you know it was a roller coaster before you got on it?
Well, maybe she came in from the other side.
There's only one side, but that's nice. He's trying to.
I don't know Chris well enough to say anything like that.
Chris, any human being that gets on that coaster and says, "What? It's a roller coaster," we're allowed to then make fun of. We're allowed.
Sure,
it's there.
And it's debatable the roller coaster status it is given, but yes,
she didn't know. I mean, you watch it be built for years. You see it going around the track. You sit in it. Not until the launch did she. Come on. So I love her, but when she tries to tell me advice now or talk about it, I'm like, she didn't know that Slinky Dog was a roller coaster.
Oh, you mean you've been riding her for this long? Give her a break.
Oh yeah, I can't. All right, Ed, thanks for playing. We'll see you soon, man. Thanks for coming.
So that's how this works.
What's up, Matt? Go Tigers.
Yeah, there you go.
Is the go is that a French go?
That's like a Louisiana, like a Cajun French Geaux. Yeah, that's how we
right. I forgot. You like the whole Cajun foodstuffs?
Yeah, like I grew up in a small town like 30 miles south of New Orleans. Like I grew up on the bayou. Matter of fact, the town I grew up in is called Jean Lafitte, after the pirate Jean Lafitte, which there's a restaurant in Disneyland after Lafitte's.
Learn a little history here.
That's pretty cool. Ed, you're not from there. You're from Jersey.
I'm from Jersey, Pennsylvania right now. But yeah.
You guys are from up north.
When did the Disney Nerds start? Did it just start as a podcast or did it start as a website?
So it started as I ended up being like the Disney guy, like the guy in my group that always was at Disney. So eventually, I went on to become a travel agent, and I was looking for somebody like Panda to advertise with. Panda was already taken by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. So I reached out to Ed, who was doing a podcast with his kids at the time called We Are Going to Walt Disney World, and I became one of their sponsors. And then just after a while, just becoming friends with Ed, I'm like, hey, man, we ought to start our own podcast. And that was about 7 years ago. And I had the Facebook group called Disney Nerds. I had already started that. And so I'm like, well, we could just become the Disney Nerds podcast. And he's like, there's no way I'm doing this. And it took a little encouraging.
What it took was the kids started bagging on me from my podcast.
Yeah.
So I lost my co-hosts. So it worked out. The timing was perfect. I wanted to do an adult show too. The show with the kids was fun. And it was just a matter of that we did kind of things around the kids. So to be able to talk to adults, that'd be kind of cool.
But Ed, were you turned off to the whole nerd thing or no?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
I think at the time it was just a matter of I was doing the one show and to do 2 shows at the same time. And then it was, like I said, lucky enough that kids basically started taking, having more other things to do when we were recording and stuff like that. So
it kind of worked out that was just at the point where your kids were just getting a little bit older and and started finding, teenage, other things to do, whether it wasn't quite as interested.
And it was perfect. We did a lot of the kids stuff, and we kind of took some of the things from that show to our new show too. So
it's kind of like a male midlife crisis. The Disney Nerds was born, kind of.
Pretty much is.
No doubt, sure. A way to get the Disney fix while you're away from the parks, definitely. And the last couple of years, the fringes don't hurt either, so it's been nice.
Okay, I have seen a thing when guys get close to 50 or like 40 something, they just go through this midlife crisis.
The wife wasn't going for the car, so
Panda,
she did this.
You're older than me, right?
I said close to 50.
Okay,
I didn't say 50. I just said close to it. And that's Corey is correct. Do you guys know Corey Meets World? Great guy.
I've heard of Corey. I don't know that I know him. I've heard of Corey Meets World though.
He's a good guy. Good genuine
We're all
guy.
Disney nerds. Definitely. That's where it comes from. We all are Disney nerds.
Oh, look at that.
If you're watching this right now, you are a Disney nerd. Gotta face it.
Later on, I might let her crash the party.
Michelle the link.
So you know what?
So she could crash. So she could crash your show the way you crashed hers.
If you can do that, I would appreciate it. Hello, Barry.
What's up, Barry? Barry's so mad right now because his Uncle Ron won't let him come to Florida.
Why won't Uncle Ron let him come to Florida? The
Ron
COVID? The Rona?
He extended the ban from people from the Northeast another 2 months.
Oh, that's right. Governor Ron. I mean, Governor up there. That's true.
That's Barry's uncle, Uncle Ron.
Okay, so the podcast has been going on now for how long?
Almost 7 years.
Yeah. We're in 7 years.
That's pretty good.
We just hit show 353, so we're pretty happy about that. And we're having a great time. The live show is now the best thing we got going. Facebook, we do that every Tuesday night. That'll be in about 40 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to just transfer everybody, hopefully, from here to there when we start.
The plan is, and we're going to add a couple too. I think Sam's going to pop in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I tell
you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, without a doubt, though, the best thing has been able to do the meets at the parks. If anything that came about from doing the podcast was being able to actually start setting up meets and having people show up and have fun with that. That to me has been the best.
That's cool because you really do then get the contact with the people and stuff. I enjoy that too.
Sure.
Made a lot. I mean, that's how me and Lisa got to be friends. She came to one of our meets, and me and Lisa's been very good friends for a long time now, and that's how we all met.
Speaking of Lisa, I am going to have a separate show with Lisa. So we'll have another Disney Nerd show, but it'll just be Lisa.
Yeah,
and usually on Tuesday nights, Lisa is my partner, but in her day job, her regular job, she just took over a new store, so she just traveled to the Northeast. She just got back, and now she's taking over a new responsibility. So that's why she's going to be slammed for like the next month. So I'm kind of leaning on Ed and Sam and Morgan to kind of step up and fill Lisa's shoes.
Look at this guy here. Just drove from South Carolina. He thinks he's quarantining at the Polynesian.
I wish I was quarantining at the Polynesian.
That's the way to do it.
He can't get a reservation to Kona or anywhere to eat.
I was going to say no room service either. So what goes on there? Explain.
Is that really true, Ed? Do we know that there's no room service? Really?
I thought that's what we heard was there was no room service, but that was probably 2 weeks old. Who knows now?
Yeah, I know it changed. The situation is fluid. It changes rapidly.
Yeah.
Speaking of room service, have you guys done a Disney cruise?
I have not. Ed has.
I've been lucky enough to do a bunch.
Ed, come on, right? Is it the thing to do?
It is. You definitely have to try it at least once, and that's the danger because once you do it once, you're going to have to do it twice just to make sure you got everything the first time you missed. So,
you know what's crazy is this was the first year ever that Disney put a ship here in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. And you can't go.
And now it's COVID, and they wasn't going to have it here full time, but they did put it 1 year earlier this year, and then COVID happened, and they took it out.
Right.
I think it'll be back.
Did you hear the latest with the cruise ships? They're all still anchored out at sea around the different ports, and they have all their crews on it from around the world who
have an idea of that.
They come into port to refuel, restock, and then they go back out maybe about 2 miles, between Florida and the Caribbean, there's about 100, 200 ships. They're just,
You know why?
because the ports are closed.
No, now the ports are open, but every day they sit in port, they pay port fees.
Oh,
But
okay.
isn't it more expensive for the fuel to?
They're just docked out there running a generator. They're probably on anchor.
All right.
Yeah,
They're not moving, so they're not.
Anyhow, the Disney cruise, once you do it, you will never. I've done other cruises, Royal Caribbeans, and the room service. Did you take advantage of that?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing that happened on our second cruise, because we got through our first cruise and never realized that room service is free and they bring you anything, anytime. And in the second cruise, we took advantage.
And it's fantastic too. It's like you can't believe that it's free, and it's great. The great room, best BLT I ever had was a Disney Cruise Line.
Our big thing was the Mickey bars. Mickey bars at night before we turned in.
I did not know that Mickey Bars. Did you ever do the breakfast card? You fill out what you want at the time you want. You put on your drawer.
I haven't done it on the cruise ship now.
It's in your drawer. There's a whole bunch of these things. Magic at 7:30. There's first breakfast, bagels, coffee, stuff like that. Then you can go to your second breakfast after that.
Right.
I know about food.
I never get tired of the buffet. I'm sure that's never going to happen again. But hitting that for the breakfast, getting up on deck when it's still early and not too hot yet, and before everybody starts stirring, that was my thing. So yeah, I like that.
How many breakfasts did you have?
One a day.
No, I'm talking to Panda.
2. There's always 2.
Okay, so there you go.
2 breakfasts, because you have the one that comes to your room, which is like the small continental breakfast, and then you have your really good breakfast.
Yeah,
No, Matt, I know Matt knows Disney
just saw
cruises
that.
too.
Yeah, stop making me crave the cruise out there. Yeah, and unfortunately, it's going to be put off a little while. What was it? The end of the summer they're coming back, or is it even later than that?
I think it's later, because I heard up until November they're gone right now.
Right,
I don't know for a fact. I think it's until at least November.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk about happy things. Disney did reopen today.
Right.
I think we all saw a lot of videos. If I'm bothering you, Jim, just let me know. I might be,
Sorry, I shared.
I'm kidding.
I shared the Facebook link to my group.
I
but
know.
Somebody didn't make it public, so nobody in my group can see it.
Oh,
Who's
that's
that?
right.
You.
Me?
Yeah, your post in Facebook is not public, so anybody that's
How
not
is it
friends
not-
with you.
How is it not public? I don't know how to make it public. Should I go change it now?
You probably can change it. So if you go
All right,
to
hold
your
on. I'm going to Facebook.
Pop up on my screen.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know how to do these things. I'm
gonna tell you.
All right, hold on. I'm in the Facebook.
So
Bear with
go-
us, everyone.
Go to that post.
I see the post.
Hit the 3 little dots in the top right-hand corner,
I'm hitting the 3 little dots.
and then it should be like something that says privacy or something like that.
Everybody see the new
Nothing.
castle behind you?
What does it say?
Save, edit, hide, delete, turn off
Ooh, down at
translations.
the bottom too.
And it says it's public.
On the I don't know.
I don't know either.
And you're in the
Shit.
group.
I'm
You're in the
group.
Disney Nerds group because you've posted there.
I don't know.
Haven't we been like stopping posts?
No, but
see,
somebody
it's
saw the post and it just says content not available. Did you just fix it?
Gotcha.
good. No. I didn't fix it. Swear. I didn't do nothing different to it.
Love it. I love it.
David Picciano is from Now That's Disney. Says, "Wow, these guys really are nerds."
You have no idea.
No, we'd have it fixed if we were true nerds in that sense.
That is true. That is true. Hello, Stan Solo. I do, Mary.
So-
Please.
We haven't mentioned, but you have the background picture of the new castle, which
You
I
know
saw
that-
a lot of today.
Which one of
That,
us?
let's see. Can I get rid of?
the one on the bottom, on either side of me?
Hold
Oh,
on. Let
yeah.
me see if I can. Is there a way to show that picture?
Oh no, not another tech thing. Hang on.
I don't think there is. I don't think
I gotta get rid of everyone to show what I think.
It doesn't. Look, just look. That's the same. I think I stole that picture from you.
It actually no, you didn't steal that one from me. That one that we're looking at, I stole from that lady, Michelle from
that
the
lady
Main
right
Street
there.
Mouse. I figured since I always crash your shows,
told
I
you.
would let her crash this show.
Michelle, I told him, I said, I'm going to share the link with Michelle so she can crash your party like you crashed hers.
Stay back,
Mich-
church.
Michelle, how come there isn't a crane in that picture? Because there is a crane there, but whoever took it somehow got rid of the crane.
Right behind the castle, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's the angle they took it at.
Sometimes they lower the crane behind it.
I saw it today though when someone was going over Splash Mountain, and it definitely was pointing out toward the back. So I think it's just hidden behind.
You know, somebody sent me a picture of that 2 or 3 days ago. So I've had like a storage of castle pictures that I've been like hoarding. So it
Waiting
could
to
be
go.
one of my older ones.
Cool.
So did we all see social media today?
Yes.
A lot of
I have to tell you, I was pretty impressed with what I saw, except for one thing, which I'll show you in a minute. But give me your overall impressions. I thought it was as safe could be. I think I'm going.
I read Michelle's blog post earlier today.
Oh, so did I. What did it say? So did I.
I did. I read your blog post and I saw your pictures. And so the lines in front of the castle, Michelle, is that like for social distancing for like one of the castle shows that are all over the ground?
They have stickers like all over the
Good
ground
point.
everywhere as far as, keeping people apart. And I noticed too today, I don't know if you watch social media, they have like these little mini parades going on. Like characters going up Main Street and stuff. I had pictures of Tinkerbell on one of the floats, but I don't think it was an issue today because it was cast members and they were not crowded. And my question is, when they do annual pass holders, is it going to be more crowded? Are they going to have a problem with the social distancing then? I don't know what you guys think.
as opposed to like people stopping on the side to watch the parade go by type of stuff.
Yeah, kind of like all of it because, they have people, they have the relaxation stations where people can go and take off their masks. They have like the gap in the lines and stuff for food and rides and things. And it wasn't crowded today. So I don't know if it would be worse. I don't want to say worse, but more crowded or more difficult when there's more people there.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. That's why we're doing the slow openings. So that'll be the next round of social media.
Yeah, I think that's
stuff.
I actually think that's a great point Ed's making. I think that's why they're doing it the way they're doing it. Let's start with the smallest group of people and kind of ramp our way up and fix these issues as we identify them.
Something did happen today with availability. Availability for annual pass holders seemed to open up. Dates that were taken already are now available. I don't know if that's cancellations or they did take a look at what's going on and say, we're okay to increase it by so-and-so 1,000 or 100. I don't know, but definitely more tickets became available.
The question I would have had for today, which I didn't see, was, okay, they opened the park. Did they have a rush to Seven Dwarfs? Or was it kind of like the normal? That's what I would have wanted to know. Because that's going to be the thing you want to think about. That's
well, here's the thing. All the pictures and photos I saw were awesome. Everybody was social distancing. Everything looked right. But Disney Food Blog was able to get this photo of what attraction? Seven Dwarfs.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. Yeah. And I didn't see this before because I was...
Okay, I thought you were joking and you saw it.
I wasn't. I really couldn't tell what that was earlier. So that's what I was wondering. Because everybody does that. We line up, we get ready for the rope drop, and we go right to Seven Dwarfs and start the line.
Well, this is a little different. What happened was it went down.
The attraction
and
went
then,
down.
Okay.
Then when they got the notification that it came up, there was no social distancing way to handle, hey, let's not all, rush the line. So that would make me nervous. I just wouldn't go in that line. I would avoid it.
Well, that's it. If you're a guest, you would just avoid that line, right? And who knows, because you can't really tell. This one picture has been shared probably 1,000 times on social media, but that could have been fixed like 2 minutes later. Like cast members could have literally come out and said, space out, space out, space out. So it would just...
I would have ran. I would have just ran away.
Well, that's what's going to come down to, is that you still have to make your own decisions on a lot of that stuff. You have to decide whether to get in the line with everybody like you normally would, because even that line is going to be short. You just have to decide to do something else, and hopefully it'll be lighter later. And based on a lot of the stuff we saw today with the cast members, everything did lighten up as the day went on. So I'm thinking that's what it's going to do.
Everything I've seen so far said that they did a fantastic job today,
They
especially
did.
being the first day.
We were able to listen to a phone call before where it just humanized this big Disney corporation, and I saw people's faces talk about things that the protocols and stuff. But somebody said something that was really interesting to me, and they said, "Listen, this virus is not going away anytime soon. Everybody's open. We waited. We're the last ones to open up, and that's true. That we have to learn to live with it." And operate around it. And I think they're doing the best they can with that, because it's not sustainable to keep it closed any longer. So, Gene Palma, my friend, Him and his wife Jess went, and they got on everything and thought it was wonderful. And Gene would be honest. If Gene doesn't like it, he'll tell you.
Yep.
Right. One of the things that stood out for me with watching the video was the plexiglass, the application of plexiglass everywhere. Jungle Cruise being the main thing I saw, where you basically have the different areas of the boat separated by plexiglass.
Yeah.
So you're basically sitting plexiglass separated from the next part. That's cool. I didn't even think of that. That's awesome.
And again, I don't think that protects us from this thing, but it's another layer with the mask and everything else. So I agree. I think it does. I think it's good.
I think it's peace of mind more than anything else.
Right.
It makes the pandas of the world feel just a little more comfortable.
With the Haunted Mansion, they are having you skip the stretching room.
Walk right through. Sure. We were debating on that if they would even just have the audio going as you're going through the room.
I know.
I guess you're not doing the extra line either, where the things are to press.
How did they do that in Disneyland?
What's that?
I don't know.
Haunted Mansion, the stretching room, because it's actually an elevator, right? And
They have to worry
they have
about that for a while. So
right. So you can't just walk through it because it's on a different floor.
I'll have to figure something else out. There's got to be another line.
Well, I also think, I'm not sure, but I think Rise of the Resistance, they're not skipping the pre-shows. So unlike the Haunted Mansion, you need them really for the story, where you don't really need it too much for the Haunted Mansion. So I think that they're going to just limit who goes into those pre-shows.
And they'll probably
they are bigger. They are bigger.
Sure, and they'll have places on the floor probably to stand, that type of situation, like Mission Space or something like that, break everybody up.
So I'm going to keep you here for a second before we get into our next conversation, and I'm going to do I'm doing commercials now. Did you know that?
Oh Lord, for
These
what?
This is actually really good commercials. Okay, so listen, I'm going to tell you the truth. Somebody about 2 years ago sent me this. So this is Mouse Perspectives on Etsy, which, look at this. Look what I give you for your money, guys. You get your own scroll. We have to do this to survive because the travel agencies just aren't able to keep up anymore, and I understand. It's not their fault. So do you see it says Panda with different letters? Okay, hold on. I'll show you something even better.
Oh, okay, I see.
Do you see what this is?
Mm-hmm.
So that says Disney, obviously. If your name is Ashley, look what you could get. They start around $30. You can even get colored ones. I like that one. And see where it says, like, the M is Sir Mickey's Magic Kingdom?
You had that idea.
So these are... Who had this idea? Scott did?
Years ago, he had the idea to do that with the different, like that. Well, we never had time to do it, but it's a really good idea.
It is a good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Until you deal with the public. Until you deal with the public and find out, my name Scott is made with 3 T's and send it back. But yeah, you got to, I'll mention them one more time at the end, but Mouse Perspectives on Etsy. If you use code PANDA15, 15% off. Linda Raymond, I know, Jimmy left. Linda Raymond, I know, is going now to...
He's going to write down how to do the scroll so we could do that.
He needs to do the scroll.
That's a good thing. I like that.
Jimmy.
We need Lisa.
Jimmy. What happened to Lisa? Jimmy, you went to order that fast? Was it that good?
No, I was going to give Michelle a shout out because I got my Lost Princess Apparel face mask today.
Oh, yay! Thank you,
Okay.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, can you do me a favor? Put it behind your ears. I want to see if, honestly, it's not her fault if it does. I want to see how tight it is.
Well, they're adjustable.
Beautiful.
Wow.
The Disney ones are not.
Yeah,
I see the people with the Disney ones, and they're like, ugh.
Did you?
A lot of them are a problem for me because I got a big noggin. But they're adjustable. They got a little plastic pull that you can adjust it and make it bigger or smaller.
Rudy Clark
I got
says
a
you have
pretty big head.
Rudy Clark says you have a big Muppet head.
Have you seen a lot of the sizes are disappearing in the Disney?
I can.
Yes, Ed, you're right. I don't think there are sizes at Disney, are there?
They have sizes, and I saw somebody had a board. I want to say it was maybe Tim Tracker, and there was a board that actually advertised the masks, what they had, and how much what the size was available. Like the Pooh masks, and like one other was the only extra large masks. Everything else was medium or small.
And they run small too. At Disney.
Even the extra large ones. Yeah, even the extra large ones. I see people with them on.
I'm expecting them to be sold out pretty quickly. I'm not expecting to be able to get a mask down there. Have anybody heard if DVCs are giving out masks when you check in or anything like that? It's kind of like
It might be like how it is at Disney Springs, because Disney Springs, if you don't have a mask, they'll give you one of those paper disposable ones. So maybe they're doing that at the park as well. I don't know, but that's what they're doing at the Springs. So.
Sure. What the new thing on our lists now is like masks.
Michelle, do you still have the masks?
Yeah.
Okay, Lost Princess Apparel. What's really great about the Michelle masks is they come with the filters. There's they're PM 2.5 filters that slide right into the front, so they really are working more than just the fabric. It's completely different animal than.
And you have the bridge over your nose.
Yeah, there's like a piece of metal in here that you can bend to shape to your nose.
So
it's really soft. I'm telling you, it's really comfortable. Right. Very soft material.
Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
Oh, don't thank me. Just thank him.
Too.
You weren't even aware she sold masks.
No, I don't know. Listen, I know that people were giving her some because she got so many orders she couldn't get them in time. Now it's calmed down. I'm making sure she's still doing it. I didn't know.
And shipping is fast now. Everything is fine. It's fine.
So Cheryl I was about to go to that too, because that came up in our group not too long ago, but the neck gaiters.
Why would anybody want to wear an alligator in Florida?
So according to Disney rules, it says you need a face mask with ear loops. But Michelle says she talked to somebody at Disney Springs and they told her the gators are fine, right?
Jimmy,
isn't that one of the rules?
Because I was watching your live stream.
Every other cast member is going to give you another answer. So
they in print it says no gators.
Okay, fair enough.
I really think they're not going to give you trouble if you're.
Them, at the Springs, they have them on, and they're allowing them. Because I asked the cast members at the Springs, and they said as long as they're all the way up, that they're fine. But bandanas are not, like the old style bandanas, but the gaiters are fine, from what I was told.
All right, very interesting.
Well, now you have to wait to get to the front gate to find out for real. That's the problem with that one. You know, you wear your gaiters down there because you wore them in Disney Springs that day, and then you can't get in the park.
Well, I'll keep a mask in my pocket,
sure,
or my backpack just in case at all. You know,
the gaiters are usually made out of a very thin, stretchy material that are not as effective as
almost like a dry fit material, like a fishing shirt would be made out of. But they are cool. They're very stretchy. They came up in our group because the lady said she had small ears and she was worried about losing the mask on an attraction, like the mask coming off, where a neck gaiter really can't come off. It can come down, but it's not going to come off.
Right.
They did roller coaster tests on the big coasters in SeaWorld, and nobody lost their
with people
mask.
with little ears.
I don't know about that.
How big were their ears?
Next group, please.
Right. Did they do a different assortment of ears?
Okay, so I want to go through one by one and find out what you missed the most. Let's start with Michelle. Michelle, what do you miss the most from the parks? It could be one attraction, one food, something.
If I had to pick one thing, can I pick a generalized thing?
No.
All right. I go with Jimmy, no. We'll come back to you if you want.
Okay, yeah, come back to me. Skip me.
All right. Ed.
Galaxy's Edge, without a doubt.
Oh,
I have not experienced that enough. I need to spend much more time in there.
Have you been on Rise of the Resistance?
No. Not yet. That's part of my problem right there. But just in general, I want to get in there. I want to play the game. I want to spend some time like collecting the different whatever, parts of the game are and icons and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely Galaxy's Edge. And that's the hardest park to get into right now. In the park reservations. Hollywood Studios is tough.
Yeah. I think it's probably reopened today like I heard.
Well,
I saw
you said that earlier.
Check. If you want to check while we're doing this, I don't mind. You can go check it because I want you to get in on it.
I can't hide it as well as Jimmy can. So,
Jimmy, what do you miss the most?
There's nothing. Especially like me and my wife, there's nothing we enjoy more than just lounging around Epcot, kind of moseying around the countries and having an adult beverage and just enjoying that atmosphere and getting, so that's the biggest thing for me is, kind of standing on the rail, having a beer, listening to the music and just people watching and sucking in the atmosphere.
All right, Michelle, you're in the hot seat now. You have to have something.
You have to have something better than me and Ed.
Oh, I don't know about that. So because Magic Kingdom is my favorite park, So of course it's got to be something from Magic Kingdom. And as silly as it sounds, I mean, I love going on the People Mover because it's a nice break, it's nice breeze, and you get to see the castle. You get to see what's going on in Tomorrowland. You can see the Tron construction. It's kind of like a nice break, but also a nice overview of all the sights and sounds and wonderful things about Magic Kingdom, because I miss the Magic Kingdom. I miss the castle, but we always go on the People Mover when we go to the park. So,
People Mover is.
I do love a good ride on the People Mover.
Sure, definitely.
It's nice
People
when you're
Mover.
tired and it's hot.
People Mover is a must do every time I'm at Magic Kingdom.
You're always going for the lottery with Space Mountain lights on.
Oh yeah,
It's all out, right?
it
That's
took
true.
me years to actually get to that point. We went and we've seen it online, and then one time just out of the blue, the lights came on. It was so cool and so different.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
it's so different. It does not look anything like I thought it was going to look.
But people point out, they're like, "Look, it doesn't scare you now, right? It's not. Scares
It
me
looks way
more.
more
All that
scary.
metal.
It does. It
But
does.
the pieces of metal are gonna hit you
My
and
hands up
come
anymore.
down." Yeah.
It's way more
Exactly.
scary with the lights on. I'd freak out.
It's true, and if you
So-
take a picture, people yell at you that you ruined their magic because they didn't want to see what it looks like. You can't
Oh,
win.
yeah. But then the nerds, they love it. They love it.
I will also say it's equally as scary, like for the parties when they turn the lights completely off too, and you can't see anything because you don't
You
even see
can't
it.
get your bearings around you. You don't see what's coming, so you just kind of jerking
Yeah, you just
around with all the lights
bobbing
on.
around. Yeah.
Right.
I think I missed the Haunted Mansion the most, but you know what I really miss? Watching Citizens of Hollywood in the studios.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're coming back because of this. You know, like, I don't know if they want people to gather and watch.
I don't know. I could see them putting them in places where you couldn't get to them and they could perform in front of people. But I haven't heard yes or no if they have been called back or they're going to be coming back, though.
That's a good point, though, because sometimes they would set up 5 or 6 of them in the street, and they'd be, everybody kind of back away from them. They're not in the crowd necessarily, so they can perform kind of in the middle of the street.
Did you see the meet and greets today? Watching all the social media where they had the Country Bears on top of Country Bear Jamboree, basically waving down at everybody. I could see the characters of Hollywood doing that easily somewhere.
That'd be good. Just
away.
having a conversation amongst themselves that we're privy to or something.
Or even calling down to us on the street. Who knows?
It brought us a little 1-minute video here from Citizens of Hollywood. I don't think you guys have seen this one. The lady who's in it, it was one of my favorites. She's actually not with us anymore. I'm not going to get into that and make you feel bad, but watch this for a second. And then we're going to just talk about it for a second on how much we miss them and what your best experience might be if you remember.
Well, an audition setting is most hello.
Can I ask you how have the husband auditions gone?
You know what? I've literally been doing it for months, and I can't find anyone. I'm looking for someone who can tap dance, looking for someone tap dancing, gymnastics.
Okay, they're here. There's somebody here for you.
There's somebody here. You know what? I'd say there are plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah. And this,
Someone who puts toilet seat back down, someone who cooks, someone who cleans, preferably someone who doesn't talk.
this guy
Hello.
right here.
See, he just spoke. I don't want him to talk to me. I just want him to stand there and look beautiful.
I wish
Is it too much to
there's a
ask?
whole group coming for you. Turn the sign. You got to do it. Wow.
See, they
That's-
just
that's like
walk on by like they don't even.
That's like the
see
movie Frozen. I'm very sorry for you.
I know.
That's
Frozen
cold.
like my heart.
Maybe this kid over here.
Hi. Are you at least 18 years old? No, he said no. Get out of here. I'm not looking to go to
This guy in the green, definitely.
hello.
She needs a husband.
Looking for a husband. Don't ask permission. This is Hollywood.
Okay, we're changing lives here in Hollywood. Free advice today, tomorrow, underwater basket weaving.
What about underwater bat? You just say
Well,
that.
just because I like to say it. Should you?
Anyhow, I love that. I love the way they just, the spontaneity and everything. That was Mimi Kaboom. Yeah, you remember her, Michelle?
I do.
Okay. The other one is Dorma Nesmond.
Dorma Desmond, yeah.
Right, I went up to her and said Norma Desmond, and she went, "Oh, copyright!" She freaked out. So,
Nice.
Do you guys have any memorable experiences with these people?
My favorite are Jack Diamond, who you had on the show.
Oh, Terry Ward is awesome.
He is phenomenal as Jack Diamond. And Gus.
Who's Gus?
He plays the cop usually. He also does the video on the Magical Express, like the safety video on the Magical Express. But he always plays a cop.
Oh,
One time I was walking in the park. Yeah, one time I was walking in the park, and he was in he had like a trash can hanging around him, so because he was hiding, and he was hiding in a trash can, so he's watching out for criminals. Those two are probably my favorite. They're both hilarious.
Do you guys remember the Adventurers Club?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Gus was the professor and a couple other characters.
Yep.
The Adventurers Club.
Yep. Gus was in a few movies too.
I think he was. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I
he's
think
a
he
legit.
was in
yes.
Parenthood. He was with Steve Martin in a living room setting, I remember. Michelle,
Yeah.
did you go to the Adventurers Club?
I don't remember that. I've never been to the Adventurers Club.
I
Oh,
remember it, but it was a long
Me and
time
Michelle are
ago.
not as old as you and Ed.
I think that's the thing. I really do. I think that's part of it.
We
You just look old. That's why we get thrown off, Jimmy.
there was no other reason to go to downtown Disney other than to go to that area. It was great.
I loved Pleasure Island.
I did too. I've been to Pleasure Island. I enjoyed Pleasure Island.
Yeah, I'm sad that went. I mean, I guess you could still kind of do a little bit of Pleasure Island.
Well, that's kind of like where Jock Lindsay's is and the Irish place. I figured that little center area is your Pleasure Island now. There's a nice little.
I used to get drunk at Mannequins every now and then.
I bet you did.
Do you remember Mannequins, Michelle, with the spinning dance floor and stuff?
Oh,
Now
yes,
it's what, Wine Bar George and something else?
No, it's Morimoto.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. It's Morimoto.
Is the spinning dance floor still there?
Sadly, no.
Now it's a sushi table that just goes around.
But you know,
How fun would that be, though?
you were
It's really
saying
fun.
a while back, Panda, when you were on our show, you were telling us that you found STK had like a weird vibe to it.
Okay, I was at STK one day and the guy made his 10-year-old daughter get up on the table and start dancing. And we all thought it was weird, but the STK people said, no, it's okay. We kind of encourage that. And I'm like, it was weird. And there was fights going on. We had to evacuate once because two people were throwing knives at each other.
Had to be from Jersey.
They probably were from
Or
Jersey.
Detroit.
Retro mentioned the Jessica Rabbit sign. That was pretty classic. That was you were there when you saw Jessica.
The Jessica Rabbit, yes. By the way, Christine Fox was there the night that the knives came out at STK. And after she got stabbed, she goes, "That was a fight? Get it? Because if you were here you'd know she didn't know it was a roller coaster." It's a lot.
Right. Cheryl said to bring back the Adventurers Club. You know what? Disney's trying to do it in steps and stages. The place over at the Polynesian.
Trader Sam's.
Yeah, that's a little
That is-
Adventurers Club. Jock Lindsay's, that's a little bit of the Adventurers Club. You go through the bar part of it and stuff like that.
I see what you're saying.
So they're trying a little bit.
They want to see what takes off. I think it wasn't feasible for profitability. Apparently, people would just stay and loiter. You know, I was probably 14 sometime. I wasn't drinking, but I was hanging out in there. So I can see
That's
how
a
that
good
was
point. If they're not drinking and you're letting everybody in, then they just hang out. That's the issue with Yeehaw Bob too.
Yeah.
When we go over to see him,
He's drinking. I know. He's always drinking. I know.
His area is not that big. They're not really generating money off the drinks in that little bar, I think. I think they make...
well, if I was sitting there drinking, they'd be generating more than the guy sipping on the iced tea.
I think they're having an issue right now with the equity actors, like the real actors in Disney. I don't know if you're paying attention to any of the posts. I don't know what's going on. I just know
They're
somebody's...
They're not ready to come back, and they're not...
The union, it's because Disney, the union wants them to be tested every day before their shifts. They want Disney to test and pay to test them every day before their shifts, and Disney hasn't agreed to that yet.
Yeah.
So the union says they're not going to return.
Most of the actors I know are mad at that, saying, "Stop,
Going back to
union.
work."
We want to go back to work. We don't really care if we get tested every day." So
Well, I was kind of surprised. I thought that encompassed everybody. So today when I saw the parades and I saw some of the people there, I was kind of surprised to see them. Also, were they supposed to wear masks? Is that going to happen when it gets more crowded, or are they far enough away not to have to worry about that?
The people on the floats, I think, are far enough away that they don't wear masks. Like when I saw Tinkerbell, she wasn't wearing a mask, but the attendants are. The people on the ground
That makes
are.
sense. That makes sense, yeah.
Right.
So the floats today were just constantly moving? Is that the thing? So that nobody gathered for too long in one spot?
Did you see the other thing, too? They had Gaston and Merida on horseback.
Oh, I did see Merida on horseback. Real horse, Angus, yeah.
And they had Gaston on horseback, too, which is cool because who's going to crowd that horse.
True.
Most people are gonna keep their distance from that for sure.
No, not really. People.
I was so hoping that this was the year they were going to bring back the Return to Sleepy Hollow.
They were supposed to, John.
I remember.
Remember that event we went to in January? They announced that it was coming, and this spring we were going to see the new stable, and they were going to do all these great things with Sleepy Hollow, and then nothing. Well, everything has been a disappointment this year.
I know.
Of what
I'm just
happened.
one after the other. If anybody doesn't know, Return to Sleepy Hollow, they would bring you into the barn. They would give you popcorn. They'd give you a limited edition pin, and you'd watch the Sleepy Hollow. What is it, an 18-minute cartoon? The screen would lift up, and there was the Headless Horseman for a meet and greet. Cost about $19, I think, for a person. The pin itself was worth $12, and it was only from that event. It was the best bargain. It was the most fun thing to do.
Where was this?
This was in Fort Wilderness in the barn, which now is a bigger barn, the Circle D Ranch barn. Now they made it a larger barn. And they said it's ready to do this, but of course, I don't think we're getting this unless they distance it a lot, and in which case, it's probably not even worth it. But what a great little spooky, different experience.
You mentioned Sleepy Hollow, and the first thing I went to was the restaurant, and I was going to change my mind on what I missed most. I missed the fruit and Nutella waffle the most.
I never had that. Was it
Oh,
good?
gosh.
Yeah, good.
They're so good. So
Yeah.
good.
They actually have food. The prosciutto and Swiss sandwich they had there. I'm not even sure if they still have it. Again, one of the best things I've had at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, they've had soups there that are so delicious. I had like a tomato basil soup from Sleepy Hollow, and I could have just hooked it up on IV. It was so good.
Nice.
All right, so what else is going on in the news? What am I forgetting that's going on in the news? Michelle, give me a topic. You're good with this.
Oh gosh.
See? All right, we'll get back to you. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Anybody in the chat room, if you have questions for Jimmy, Ed, Michelle, myself, ask away. We like trying to... I know I don't look at it all the time, the chat room. I try to. Oh, very good question.
All right. Yeah, we started talking about it. Sure.
I'm going to start off and just say love. Anyone else?
So the first time I saw some pictures of it, I was like, ugh. And then I saw this picture that I have as my background. I really liked it. And then while I was down there visiting Universal, one day Lisa came to pick me up at the hotel, and we were going to Disney Springs, and she took me through property. So I got to see it kind of in person, and I think it's wonderful. I think some of the pictures are oversaturated and make it look more pink.
100%. When you see the regular pictures from the ground level, the pink is not overwhelmingly Pepto at all.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
They're right. It's definitely the light and the angle and all these other things. And the purple of the turrets is like blue, dark blue, purplish, depending on the picture. It's kind of changing. Can't wait to see it in person.
Yep.
Hey, Chris.
For sure.
So, Michelle, you said you liked it already? I don't know if we got your answer.
Yeah, I do. And then I get when I remember to check my my DMs on Instagram, somebody had asked me about the bottom is not painted, like the silver brick, and they wanted to know if it was going to be the same rose gold color, and I was told it is not. The brick is staying the silver color. It's just the upper part that's rose gold.
Right.
But
Also, anybody saying the blue is too royal blue, I think give it about 2 weeks in the Florida sun, and you may not
That's true.
say that.
True.
You think they'll keep it, or you think this is just through the 50th and they go back?
I think it's going to go back one day, back to white
really?
and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Fair enough. Oh, true. Because you are celebrating the 50th with the golden, and yeah, I agree. I think it will. You're right.
I think it's another excuse to get people excited again, and let's see it now. And I bet you we'll be just as happy when it goes back.
See it go back.
Sure,
Yeah,
there'll be some type of new design where it'll be even better when it goes back to the normal colors too. Maybe actually put the lights for the ice underneath or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Better every year. Make it automatic.
could do that too. Just they could have changed the color with just a projection, or at least at night.
True.
They could
Are
have,
the-
yeah.
Or
The
even-
walls in Fantasyland are darker now.
They are.
Didn't notice that, but I
Walls
didn't.
Fantasyland. Oh yeah, I guess it might follow the castle then, as it goes behind it. Sure, makes sense.
That does make
You
sense.
like where all the squirrels are and everything like that, or the rabbits, or where are those guys? Behind the carousel.
So, Panda, you gonna come join me and Ed when we're down?
Yeah, when are you coming?
We fly. The first day will be the 16th.
Okay, I'll try to get. Yeah, because if I go the 14th to the studios and I feel safe, which I have a feeling I might, I'll come. You might see me with my mask on though. I'm not taking my mask off.
Well,
I mean, we'll all have masks on.
Yeah.
Okay, Ed, you too.
But yeah. That's one of the reassuring things is that you will not have a choice to take your mask off.
Yeah, they're not gonna let you take
It's
your mask
hilarious.
off.
And they have
No, I'm-
carrying around supposedly.
I meant like if I meet him at the hotel and stuff. I'm still thinking he's carrying around the Rona. So
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if we go somewhere and eat?
Going.
if I'm not eating around
We're
people,
just gonna
I'm
shove
going,
food in your mask. And
I'm
you'll stay there
going
for
away
later?
to. Yeah, I'm going to stay over here with my French fries.
Like a squirrel. We'll just shove it in there. I'll eat this
Shove it
one.
in.
I'll get skinny because I'll forage in the corner and then.
I think it's gonna be a matter of just finding the counter services with outside tables, and it'll work out that way.
I agree with that.
You know.
Bring your own
I agree
food.
with that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the start. I can bring supply this time.
There's nothing that an Uncrustable cannot solve.
I was just gonna say what about
Oh yeah,
Oh goodness.
we've all had those.
Right? I become a
All
kid again with
variations
an Uncrustable.
Frozen, mushy, all different versions.
Don't microwave them; you'll hurt yourself. I've tried it. Burnt for a week.
Yeah, it's
It gets very hot. All right, guys. So, are you going to get ready for you? Will you have a show at 9:00? Correct?
Yes, correct.
Should we continue this till 9, or is it easier for me to let you go?
What time
I'll
is it?
need 5 minutes to get the. So
Okay, so I'll let you go in 5 minutes. So
you,
let's see.
you
What
got
can
a
we talk
little
about?
time.
Yeah, that's fine.
What can
Check your
let's see,
PM.
check my private messages.
Yeah.
Oh God, am I going to share this with everyone? Let's see.
Hope not.
Oh
Thanks,
gosh. Thanks,
Oh
Scott.
no! What did you
What do you want to know, Retro?
Scott sends more stuff.
What's
Hold
on
on.
the wall? All my memories.
Retro is Brandon. He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Answer his questions.
Well, that's a tough one, though. There's a lot.
He doesn't.
Oh,
care.
what's on Ed's wall? Tell him what's on the top. Blue, red, and purple.
Oh, our flags from our meetups. We had a couple of flags made for them the last couple of times. That keeps everybody in place in Epcot. When we're running around with all the crowds, we just look for the flag. And we get to be like a Brazil tourist group too. On top of that,
That was kind of the joke at the beginning. Was we'll have flags like the Brazilian tourist groups.
It's a PNG. Hold on, I'm getting it here.
Oh my gosh! If
I
I'd known-
know.
All you had to do is share your page.
Retro Uncrustables is great. You get
No,
them-
I do it. I do it professionally. I don't share the
all the
page.
hotels have them in that little store there. So they have Uncrustables. You got to try
Look at
them.
that.
This is what Scott
Oh
makes
wow!
me.
Look at that. That's great.
You're part of the club.
I'm part of the club. You know what? You can use that when I come on your show.
Sweet.
Oh, do you have any messages for Rudy Clark when he comes on here next week?
Oh, I'll be in the chat.
All right. What do we tell him? That he has a big head like you?
Why? He does have a big head. I think
He
he's
says-
Oh, you don't say that.
He says you
He
have a
does
big
have a
head.
big head. He's quarantined right now. Well, he's supposed to be quarantined. He flew into Florida. He's supposed to be quarantined at the Night's Inn, wherever the hell he's staying.
Nice in.
Stan, I am going to once again mention Mouse Perspectives. Hey, they're
Take
paying
good
for
care.
me to be able to go have some fun in my life. Are you? Come on, who's ordering? Linda, I'll be surprised if you don't go get your 15% off and get Linda. They're very creative. Honestly, without the thing at the bottom that says where they're from, I wouldn't even know where they were taken.
Looks like one of my scavenger hunts. We did that one year, Magic Kingdom.
Did you do that?
Sure did.
we cut the letter out of the signs for the different restaurants and rides and stuff like that. You had to go find what sign it was. It was pretty fun.
So if you ever murder anyone and there's like a cryptic note.
Yeah, I'm screwed.
So Ed, we don't know too much about you. Like, we don't see you. When he says to me, I'm going to have Ed on, I'm like, who's
Who?
Ed? He goes, Ed's my partner.
Yeah, well, listen to
partner.
the podcast.
He started Disney Nerds with me. I listen to the podcast occasionally. Occasionally.
That's where you're going to find me most of the time. Live shows, schedule-wise, it was always tough to get onto the show. So that's why you haven't seen me too
Tuesday
much.
nights is poker night.
And it's with a bunch of old guys, and they don't change easy. Although I got them on Wednesdays now, so we're moving on.
Do you have guests on the podcast?
Sure, we have guests. We do a lot of different interviews. We have
Lots and lots. Nobody's ever asked me.
We have discussions.
You've been on the show. You
have actually been.
I know.
And
but it's been a long time.
But I also I'll take shows from our live show too. So I've actually edited you a couple weeks ago. So you and you guys, Scott,
Okay, good.
here. Yep.
Okay, Ed.
Like recently.
Sam, take him or leave him. Honestly.
Take it. Wait. Sam's number one. Without his enthusiasm, we would be falling down every so often. He's
okay.
Really,
all right. So we got one vote for Sam. Jimmy, Sam, yay or nay? Okay. All right. Michelle, Sam. Okay.
like
Yeah,
Sam.
I'm. Me too.
Sam does all
I
the
love
great
Sam.
stuff that we want to do. He's going to do it, and he's great.
He's fun at media events, actually.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
He was okay. Just a real quick story about Sam to let you know where he comes from. He's a big Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and he made it as the commercial for when they went to commercial. He was the Darth Vader mask dressed in the Pittsburgh Penguins uniform that they had on ESPN for like weeks, like 3-4 years ago when the Penguins were in it. And it was just him and his Darth Vader mask, and he was all in for that. That's Sam. That's what he's like.
For the Pittsburgh Steelers games, he wears like a Pittsburgh hard hat, and he's got this big clock around his neck, like Flava Flav, with all these
Flavor
beads and
Flav.
stuff. With a suit
Flava
jacket.
Flav.
I'm telling you, it's
Yeah, he's the man, and he goes
It's,
all in Disney-wise that you can't believe. So Star Wars is his big thing. Out of control.
Yeah, Ed, I want to know when you get on Rise of the Resistance, because if you're a Star Wars fan, you are. Have you watched videos, or did you stay away from them?
No videos yet.
That's
staying away from it.
awesome, because right, Jimmy, you've been on it, right?
I have in January.
Okay.
Actually, thanks to Sam.
Really, do you think Ed's gonna like just blow a gasket?
Oh yeah. Let me tell you just a quick story. Last year for our meetups, Ed and Sam are probably bigger. I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan. Ed and Sam are probably bigger Star Wars fans than I am. And so me and Sam had planned on going to make our own lightsabers when we went last November. And we didn't tell Ed, but we got him one too. And
I was going to film the thing because you could bring somebody else with you. So I was going to go videotape it.
he thought he was going as a guest. So we were outside waiting, and I told him he needed to go pick out his stuff for which saber he was going to build. He goes, "What you mean?" Dude, Lisa was recording. He made Lisa stop recording. Like, he was literally like about to like break down in the tears.
It took me a little while to figure out what was going on.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, it was because it was totally unexpected, and it is probably one of the best souvenirs I've gotten out of Disney World. So
I agree. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I loved making the lightsaber. Did you do a droid? Did you do a droid?
not yet, but I'm going to do it this time around. Now, I didn't see that the lightsaber was open. I actually looked right before we started recording. No lightsaber, but the droid making is there. So I'm wondering.
I think that you know what I think. I think the lightsaber, you need the equity actors.
Oh, true.
They're not, and I hate to say like there's a different quality of actor, but there is. They're not your
union and non-union.
great. What I'm saying, the great movie ride actor is not as seasoned of an actor as you're going to get in the lightsaber. You're getting a professional person that really makes you believe you are there, and you are. What is it? The kinshe? I don't know the name of the.
I forget the term. Yeah.
There's a person in there that does it, but that could be the reason. Where the droid, you don't need that.
Right, makes a lot of sense. And the droids, I could see them breaking us up real easy as far as separating and stuff. So,
all right, I'm going to let you two go because you got 5 minutes for your show, and we'll come watch you over there. That is the Disney Nerds on Facebook. I can go watch the show.
The DisneyNerdsPodcast.com, the Disney Nerds Podcast on Facebook. We're on Google Podcasts, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio.
But to watch us in like 5 minutes, go to Facebook, DisneyNerdsPodcast.com.
Thanks, Ed. That's what
Yeah,
I
that's
needed
where the-
instead of
yeah, that's where
whatever
we'll be.
drivel just came out of Jimmy's mouth.
God.
Thank you. I want to send people there now.
Now, the Disney Nerds
Yeah.
Podcast on Facebook.
Okay, I'll make sure that they come. I'm going to keep Michelle for a second while we go to your show.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you very
Peace.
much.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Ed.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Jimmy.
Have a
Love you
good one.
guys a lot. Thank
See you guys.
Hello, Michelle.
Hi.
So we might as well mention, while we got 5 minutes, we are going to be at Wine Bar George, July 26th. What time is the show? Are there still 2 tickets left? Are there still 2 tickets left?
Still 2 tickets left, and then it's sold out.
Okay. Whoever wants to come, go to TMSMLOL, because it's the Main Street Mouse live on location, TMSMLOL.com. There's 2 tickets left. There's only 20 people right now for this particular show because they're keeping it socially distanced and that, but it'll be fun, and you can come and say hi to us with masks on when we say hi to you, probably. But it'll be a lot of fun.
And it's a smaller location, but it's a great place for us to start back at the Springs, keeping everybody safe and socially distanced, but then, still have a really good time. And like I said, it's a smaller location, but they're giving us the upstairs at Wine Bar George where the windows and you can see everything. It's a beautiful spot. So come out and see us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
With a special menu. Bye, Cheryl. With a special menu for us.
Yes. Yes. So excited.
So I might have some alcohol that day. I might need it.
Me too.
I definitely need it. What does Scott do? Is Scott doing like jumping jacks? I hear clicks and beeps in the background. Is that his 3D printer?
My dogs are snoring. Maybe.
Oh, it could be
I
Ava
have
or
Jack
Jack.
on this side and Ava on this side snoring.
Jumping jacks.
And Scott with commentary over on the side, of course. So.
I love that, a backseat driver.
Always.
So yeah,
Always.
and yes, right now, Moments of Magic. Yes, Yvonne, that's got to be her. They are over there. They the Disney Nerds Podcast.com or the Disney Nerds Podcast on Facebook. Are you going to go there now for a little bit, Michelle? Because I'm going to go and we're going to watch them for a little bit. So I'm going to say goodnight to you all. I am going to once again please mention this gentleman was very nice to me when I put out a thing to have advertisers. If you use Panda 15, it's 15% off until Sunday. And they really are cool. I look at mine all the time, and it brings me happiness because it says Panda. It says whatever you want it to say. It doesn't even have to be your name. It could be just a slogan or anything. So I might get you one for Christmas, Michelle.
They're very, very cute. They're very, very cute.
So that's it. I'm going to say goodnight, guys. What else do I have to tell you? Go to bigfatpandemonium.com to join my Facebook group. The Main Street Mouse, of course, is a huge Facebook group, and then there is the Main Street Mouse Live on Location, which is another Facebook group that is just our show together. So you should just go join all of them, and you'll never be not in the know. Thank you very much, guys, for joining. I really appreciate it. Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. right here. If it's Taco Tuesday, it's Panda Tuesday. Love you all. Good night. Thank you very much. Did I say thank you and love you again?